Buddy, hey, it's a Monday morning. Time to wake up and make some money. Gotta wake up, right? How's that song go? There's one. Wake up, you gotta make money. You know which one I'm talking about? Well, your mama sings us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. You know that one? Nobody knows that one. Yeah, it's pretty obscure. Well, anyways, hey, it is the 5th of December. It's a Monday. Time to make some money. So today I say we I say we focus on technical analysis. So let's do that. We'll go through the weekly swing setup. How about that? I think it'll be a quick video, but we'll see. Everybody okay with that? Little yen-yens. Sure. Well, first of all, let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. But please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Please open up a demo or a live account today. You will find our customer service excellent. You'll find our spreads or other fees in an ECN model are very competitive. And did I say the fast execution speed? Well, anyways, test it out. I think you'll be impressed. We do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday here at Forex.Today for free, and every Friday at FX Street for premium members. And the overriding goal of these webinars are for me to share my many years of trading experience with you so that you can improve trading as soon as possible and fulfill your destiny and make the world a better place to live. So you can start by opening that account at TradersWay.com. And a Monday morning, especially a Monday morning, cannot possibly be complete without the happy song. So let's get that done and get going. So once again, welcome to Forex.Today. Thanks for being beautiful. You cheer me up on a cold, rainy Georgia morning. If it wasn't for the pips, I'd be pretty upset. All right, so let's go through it. Let's start with the yen-yens. In fact, that's all I really care about. Let's just do the yen-yens. I'll get my drawing tool out. Okay, are you a bull or are you a bear on yen pairs? Michael in Michigan says there's snow. Yeah, well, you live there. Oops. Well, that kind of messed things up. Did you just lose your screen? All I did was do my drawing tool. All right, well, let me turn my drawing tool. Oh, wait. All right, slowly back, huh? Michael says bear. You're bear on the yen pairs or bear on the yen, Michael? All right, I'm going to have to I'm going to turn this drawing tool off. We'll figure it out. Yeah, all right. So yeah, so yen pairs up. Hang on, let's see if we can get this back. Wow, hello. Tech problems of the moment. Oh my God, there's Harvard.tv. No, what is that? Stanford. Yeah, Stanford's actually nice. What is going on here? I turned my drawing tool on and everything froze. It's trying, I think. All right, well, while this trying to get its act back together, if you were a bull on yen pairs, where is the buy zone based on our weekly swing trade setup that I've been teaching for 10 years? There we go. It still hasn't quite caught up. Wow, what is going on? There we go. All right. What is the buy zone? All right, weekly pivot point to weekly M2. That's pretty cool, right? Now, I remember being in South Africa, it seems like a month ago. How long ago was that? I swear to you, if you asked me when I was in South Africa, I'm like, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks maybe? Was it 4 or 5 months? Was it 5 or 6 months? I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, it was May or June. So yeah, it's 5 months. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm like, yeah, it might have been, yeah, it might have been yesterday. I'm not very good with time. Anyways, yeah, last week or something. Yeah, it was May or June. I wouldn't be shocked if it was April, isn't it? Spring break. Anyways, one of the things that we talked about there when I did that event was I said if you walked away with just one, yeah, I think April, right? Spring break, right? I can't possibly be with school and stuff. I can't be out in May. So, anyways, one of the things I left with, or left people with, is if you walked away with one thing that you would wait over the weekend, sitting by your computer waiting for the markets to open up, and you would do a weekly trade plan, a weekly swing, and you try to be in it for 3 or 4 days, right? And of course, that's nothing new. I've been, that's been my message for, better part of a decade, more than a decade, in fact. And so in this case, we can go through that one setup. Okay. Let me zoom in on this. This is a euro. It's probably the last trade I would want to be in on this type of thing. Okay. And this is why it probably didn't work out very well if you tried it, but let's say, okay. This gray zone is the buy zone. I guess I shouldn't even go, well, okay, this is the buy zone, the weekly central pivot to weekly M2. If you're a bull and you're doing this weekly trade setup, specifically for swing trading, hey, there's Stiglitz up there. He was one of the guys I recommended you you read last week. People asked me about various economic philosophers, if you will, or economists. Anyways, yeah. So, anyways, the sweet spot, the buy zone that you would be waiting for as the market opened on Monday or Sunday night is right in here if you're a bull. Now you can see it actually open there and drop like a ton of bricks. You might have freaked out. There was a weekly support one, monthly R1 here. Okay. And I believe this is the one that worked out the least, even though it did eventually go up. But who the heck would want to buy euro? And I think that's why it wasn't a very good setup, but it was plausible, especially here around this cluster. You notice how it was the monthly pivot point that really held? You know what I mean? There's certainly a pivot in play. It didn't bounce at 19, it bounced at 1892, which just happened to be a monthly pivot. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's the worst one. so to speak. That's the one that worked out the worst, right? Let's take a look at Beast. Here's the sweet spot if you're a bull. Hallelujah. Okay. And notice, now I got to zoom in a little bit. There's the gap down. Boom! Shalakalaka. Now that is, what did what was her name? Paris Hilton. She'd say, "That's hot." Oh, that's hot. Right? That's sexy. Yeah. Mmm. What do you think of that? Isn't that beautiful? Imagine you were thinking all weekend, I hope this bounces somewhere around 42.74. Right? I hope it bounces around 42.74. I mean, it's pretty magical, isn't it? No? Yeah? Right? We talk about this every week, for months and years and even a solid decade. A decade! Right? So are you catching these? I mean, this is stuff that's putting your kids through college. This is kind of stuff that's supposed to move you to a better neighborhood, right? Some of these setups are overnight. Yeah, what's the best way to trade? Get your butt out of bed on this particular day of the week so you can move yourself to a better place in the world to trade Forex. But it's one of these things like, you know it's coming, make the sacrifice. I don't have a problem with that. Wayne, I want to make $1 million, but gee whiz, dude, seriously? I have to get up at 1:30 in the morning for this? Forget it. You know what I mean? That's the sacrifice you make. Imagine that, right? You can change your world, make your life better for you and for the loved ones around you. But you might have to wake up in the middle of the night once a week. You know what I mean? Well, forget it. Right, right, Ed? Just forget it. Or use a limit order, but now you're going to have to drop your lot size pretty significantly. But you could do like put a lot here, put a working order at the weekly central, put it or just slightly above the weekly central, because remember you got to catch the spread, right? One just above here and another just above here, and that's that, right? But it just makes me think of like two gold miners in South Africa. They got their helmets on. They're going down an elevator shaft. It's dark. It's scary. I don't know if they actually mine like this anymore, but anyways, walking there, holding their lunch pail squeezed into this little elevator, going down this dark shaft, down, down, down into the center of the earth where it's dark and humid and filthy air. One guy says to the other, "Yeah, well, I know a way how to get out of this situation. I know a way to be able to make enough money so I don't have to do this anymore." But dude, I'd have to get up early. So here I am going back down into Yeah. Forget it. So anyway, there's your beast. Now, beast is always the scariest, right? But because it's got the highest volume and volatility. Let's do our friend USD yen. Hello. Wonder what is slowing me down? All of a sudden, I can't even open up a chart here. Here, hang on. Let me see if I can improve this. Adobe Air. All right, so Adobe Air. Oh no, is that true? I'm reading the news up here. That stealth destroyer that the U.S. military made to go out and like sink battleships and stuff. They were sailing through the Panama Canal and hit the side of the wall. 4 billion in damages. Oh, don't worry about it. We got insurance. How do you run? Well, they had the interns private. I don't know if they have privates in the Navy. Oh, hey, Captain. I think you hit the side of the canal. Yeah, it jumped in front of me, sir. It's Hillary Clinton's fault. Yeah. So, all right, let's see if I can get into this now. All right. A little better. All right. So, once again, you can see the gap down. What is the sweet spot for a bull? The sweet spot is between the weekly central and the weekly M2 as indicated here. If you were a buy, up, down, up, down, up, right? Lovely till your mum. Yeah, she used the wrong phone. Oh, you guys lost your charts now. You see, no, okay, hang on. Yeah, I'm getting an Adobe Air error again. So it's just one of these things. It seems like every month there's an update and every month it stops working. So hang on. Let's see if we can get this bad boy fired up again. It appeared to me that you could see, so I apologize. You are not alone. Okay, give me a booyah if you can see. Oh, boo-ha. Thank you, Artem. All right, so once again, you're sitting at your computer just minutes before the market opens, and you're saying to yourself, and you've been thinking about it all weekend, all Saturday. You know, honestly, I was driving the other day and I was thinking about, you know, schoolwork, but also trading and all this kind of stuff. And almost drove off the road. Like literally, like, holy crap, I could have died or killed somebody or oh my God. Uh, in fact, my MDX was all four tires in the air. This is how much I think. I'm the absent-minded professor. Like I do things, I forget things. Here, let me give you another example, and I'm going crazy, right? I walk upstairs and the shower's on. It's like 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, my wife was out shopping or something, so I go upstairs and I can hear the shower on. I'm like, oh, my wife's home. So I go up and I'm like, well, it sounds like the bathroom door is open to the master bedroom, right? Which, normally it's shut. I'm like, that's weird. So I'm like, hey, honey. No answer. So I walk in and I'm like, did she fall down and like, hit her head or something? Like, seriously, right? Shower's running and like water's dripping off the ceiling for a second there because it's been raining in Georgia. I thought the roof was leaking or something. I'm like, oh my God, there's like water coming out of the ceiling. And I look and there's nobody in the shower. I'm like, what the hell? And I don't remember doing it, but at 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was, I went in, turned the shower on, walked away, and just left it running for hours and hours and hours. And I have no recollection of doing it. No joke. And just water coming off the ceiling. All the walls are like stained with water stains. My orchid is happy though. And so, anyway, this is how consumed I get. I walk to I walk to the kitchen to get coffee, but then I've left my coffee mug in my home office. So I walk back to the office to get my coffee mug, but then I don't. And then I sit down and I go hours without coffee. And I end up doing it 6 times, and I don't. I'm like I'm so focused, right? So literally, when I say you need to be like this, all weekend you should be so consumed with catching this trade that you're dangerous to drive. Like I swear to God, I could have killed myself or somebody this weekend simply because I was thinking. Good thing the kids aren't with me and stuff. Like all four tires on my MDX in the air. Wow. Like the Ferrari in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It was almost like a Thelma and Louise, right? Holy crap! Like I land with on the nose. I'm like, oh my God! Guess there's a dirt road coming. So let me tell you, I'm massively consumed with this. All right. Now, you might be dangerous to society, but as a currency trader, you got to take care of yourself first, right? So you can take care of your family. Now, I always think of it this way. When you're on an airplane and they say if the air masks drop out first, put the mask over your face first and then help the child or the elderly person. Because if you help them first, you could probably pass out or die, and then they'll die. So do it first, right? So in this case, you got to be the one laser focused because you got to catch these things if you're going to make the world a better place for all the loved ones around you, right? So this is what I do. I sit around thinking, oh my God, right in here, man, right on here, please, baby, please, right? And then boom. And if you're that focused, there's no way in hell you could miss this. It's totally impossible. You understand? Okay. Yeah, but maybe those two pairs are just lucky, right? Maybe it's just luck of the draw. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more. Weekly pivots. The sweet spot for a bull is somewhere between weekly central and weekly M2. Notice things like 200 EMA still playing a role. I mean, it's not all, well, it is pivots, but you can throw in other, fold in other things in here like the 200 and stuff. Okay. Okay. But you could seriously have been just had a working order sitting around 84. Not a problem. Look, this is where we closed. We gapped down within the first hour. Hit there, just turned green. Like, just once again, if you were there and you were biting your fingernails all weekend, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Another funny story. Many years ago, took my wife to the Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay because that's out near where I used to live. So I used to go there a lot. We're sitting, sitting near the beach. There's a nice bench there with a view of the ocean and the beach right at our feet, right on the edge of the cliff. Just staring out at the beautiful ocean and very romantic moment, my arms around her and everything. And I was completely consumed with thinking about charts and trading and like, we're going to have to leave soon if I'm going to catch the market open. Like, come on, honey, can we just speed the sucker up? Like, yeah. It's beautiful. But we got to get in the car. I got to check out of this damn hotel. We got to jump in the Beamer. We got to get all the way back across the hill. There's probably going to be traffic because it's a weekend and we got to go, yo. This is pretty, honey, but let's speed this sucker up, huh? Right? Daddy's got to make some pips. And that's how I've been now for 15 years, right? Just like, yeah, pretty. Let's go. Market's going to open. And that's back when I lived in California, right? So, the market opened quite early there. So if you're in a 5-star hotel Sunday morning, you just got to get the hell out of there as soon as possible. Skip breakfast, skip everything else, just go, right? So anyways, that's 3 in a row that are flat out easy. Did I do Beast? I did Beast. I did Euro. Did USD Yen. Did Aussie Yen. All were goes, right? So let's do Kitty Cad. I was born to trade for you. All right, so you're sitting at your charts and you're saying, please, 84.80, please. Boom, boom, gone. Plan A, plan B. But you know what the plan is. You're going to buy weekly central, weekly M2, or you buy weekly central, put your stop below weekly M2. It doesn't matter. There's your whole buy zone. Only if you're a bull, though. Okay? So once again, let's pretend. For some reason, you want to be long CAD yen. You OPEC deal, oil above 50, all these kinds of things, right? So your alpha is like, I just got to get long CAD yen. I just got to get long CAD yen. I just got to get long CAD yen. Please open somewhere around the weekly central. Please open around the weekly central. Please open around the weekly central. And then boom, comes down to the weekly central and just launches immediately into green. I mean, imagine it on a 15-minute chart. Imagine it on a 5-minute chart. There's just no way you would miss that. Just none whatsoever. I don't think I could probably. I guess I got to turn. This one. All right. Come on. There we go. All right, MT4 still a little slow. It's this Adobe Air slowing us down. All right. So look, dude, seriously, you're sitting here begging for it to come down to the weekly central and then turn green. Like, I don't think you could miss that. I don't. I just don't. I think we've been doing it too long. You've been working too hard. If you were actually sitting there waiting, I don't think you can miss that. And that's the message we've always been talking about. No, so is there a corresponding bear setup? No, actually, in this case, you would be selling weekly central to weekly M3. Okay, but you wouldn't do it if you were above. You know what I mean? Okay, you have to be below. Okay, because you're selling rallies, you're not selling dips. You understand? Would you buy just anywhere in there? Well, Brandon, you would buy, as close to the weekly central as possible. And then the next one is lower, right? The easiest way to do it, and of course you're going to have to adjust your lot size so it fits your risk tolerance. But let's say you buy at the weekly central and your stop is below the weekly M3. And Adobe's so slow I can't even scroll this for you. Okay? So there's just tons of ways of doing it. Where you hit this, right, and then you get the 5A cross up off of a double bottom off the, you buy it, jam your stop, you're risking 18 pips and you're long. Or let it do the higher high, higher low, and you buy it at 85 on the 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's so many to do it, but where you make the money is that you were worried about this all weekend. That's where you make your money. The way you enter it, it doesn't matter. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Like if you're trading for your client and stuff, they're like, well, how did you enter that? Was that the 5-minute 5A cross? Or did you do the double bottom with the 1, 2, 3, buying it at the cycle level of support? I mean, like, nobody cares. Nobody sees it. Just do it, right? So the way you make your money is you were sitting there all weekend praying for something like this, waiting for something like this. And then you get it, and then whatever you see, whatever makes you feel comfortable, you pull the trigger. But again, how you pull the trigger is really irrelevant. And a lot of the time, like, if you wait for the confirmation, so you get the bullish Gothic candle, right? Let's say you enter somewhere along this 5-minute course, right, along here. But if you buy the dip, so here's the break above the high, so there's the high or low, retracement back to the psych level, so you might have bought this if you were a little more conservative. Well, what's the difference in price? 5 pips. So like, I'm trying to level that, but it's not doing it. It's too slow. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, dude. Just pull the friggin' trigger if you're a bull. You get paid to be a bull, and you get paid to enter bullish trade setups, right? Your particular technique, I don't know. I don't care, right? Doesn't matter. You use your ADX, use your Stokes, use your MACD, use your moving average, use your candlestick pattern, use if you have to use an Elliott wave. I mean, just I don't care. Just buy it. Okay. Now, if things go well, this you're taking profit on Thursday. But I don't know, right? Maybe it doesn't last. Maybe it does last. I don't know. Now, how about this? Kiwi yen. I was born to trade for you. So, what's the buy zone if you're a bull, Kiwi yen? What zone were you praying for over the weekend if you wanted to buy Kiwi yen? Somewhere between 80.37, right, and 79.92. It's only, what is that? 40 pip range. Okay. Turns out, as radical as it may sound, is it dropped down into that zone and stopped at the psychological level of 80.0000. I know, it sounds hard to believe, but it actually bounced at 80.00000000. How could you possibly predict such a random occurrence? I'm being facetious, by the way. Isn't it neat? Yeah, sure. Now, bears could sell the M3 and drop it. All right, well, manage the risk. Do what you got to do, son. Okay? And if you're still in this on Thursday, let's say you moved your stop or something, right? If you're still in this on Thursday, you'll probably make pretty decent amount of pips, right? And if not, if it comes back and knocks you out of break even, well, your swing trade failed this week, so what? But at least you're trading in the direction of the trend, right? But I'll remind you that the bottom of the pound yen setup is 42.50. We're at 45.50. It's up 300 pips already. Just the pound yen. Just this morning. Uh-huh. I like the way you trade. Mm-hmm. Isn't that glorious? Now, I know some of you know this through and through. But once in a while, a slap in the face is probably the best learning experience ever, isn't it? Did anyone walk away with a long-term lesson, or like a life's lesson? Now, bear in mind, you know, at least I've been teaching this other subject for a decade. This is the time of year you need to trade the yens aggressively. Right? Between September and December, it's peak season, isn't it? Do I ever tell you that you should be making, you know, more than 1,000 pips in April? No. Do I tell you you should make more than 1,000 pips in July or August? No. In fact, I tell you don't even plan on making any pips. And then, well, what about October? If you showed me 1,000 pips in October, I'd be very disappointed. I'm like, well, what did you do? Did you not get out of bed? Why? What went wrong? Just normal seasonality, Hoyo. This is, I mean, this is it. This is prime time, best time of the year. Swing trades, yen pairs, right? Well, so Hoyo may be more newer then. How many people can confirm that like 110,000% that that's something that I've taught year after year after year after year, that this is the prime time? Now we're scared. It is a scary part of that prime time because we don't know when it's going to end, and it could end soon. But you should be waking up in the morning knowing that this is the prime time to make money. And these are when you're supposed to. Well, that's what I particularly look at. Okay. Okay. Could it work on the Swiss pairs? Maybe, but that's again, that's alpha. This is just my trading experience. Okay. And things will be a lot different 4 weeks from now. I will not be doing the same thing. Okay. But this is not backfilling. I'm just drilling home that I must have, covered this type of stuff hundreds, and honest factual numbers, hundreds of times. That this is how you need to trade. This is what you need to be ready for. You need to be there when the market's open. This is what I covered in South Africa for that whole group. Just like, here's the one thing you need to focus on for sure. And if you can do this, you will change your life. Okay. And for some reason, hardly anybody does it, right? Just not out of the South African group. I just mean nobody. It's very rare that anybody does it. This could be the one thing that you do. This, and then looking for things like double bottoms with higher highs or double tops with lower lows. And you could just master those two things. Right? So did anyone have like a aha moment? Was there a wake-up call? Was this a slap in the face that is helpful? Are you going to like change your behavior now? How many stories did I tell you out of my personal life where I sound like a buffoon? Right? But this is where you need to get to, right? you imagine your wife all snuggled up in your arms and you're looking at the beautiful ocean and you're like, I got to get the hell out of here. I need to get home as fast as possible. Asia's going to open and I need to catch these yen trades. And this was, I mean, I remember I may not have even been married yet. Certainly not before kids, right? So I'm telling you, this is like 15 years ago, right? Ryan was still in daycare 15 years ago. And I'm sitting there like, staring out at the ocean thinking about the Asia Open. I got to get back home. Asia's going to open. Asia's going to open. I got to get back. I got to get back for the Asia Open. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know. So, yeah. And if you really wanted to do something interesting, you could do like I don't know. None of these are that good, but I'll just pick one random one. And ooh, very slow. Come on, Adobe Air. Okay, and bop this over to 4 hour. I might even have to go daily, but it's this version's not going to do it. My platform's too slow. On my other pivot indicator, it'll let me show farther out. Hang on, let me see. Let me just randomly try one here. What I was going to say is you can open up a chart with weekly pivots and have it print weekly pivots going back years if you want. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with Adobe being so slow, but we'll try here if you're patient with me. And you can go back and see how often you had opportunities. And it's not every week, so don't get all hung up on that. But what if once a month you caught a swing trade that made you 300 pips? Right? Well, that may be better than what you're doing now on your own, doing whatever that you do. Oh, you know what? I messed up. All right, so let me change this, I think. I messed up the weekly, I believe. So I'm going to go to scan. Pivots, yeah, I messed up my weeklies. Okay, so now I got to go insert indicators, custom, FX Bootcamp history. Here it is. Wait. Okay, there you go. Weekly true. So grab it. True. Weeks to plot. 55 weeks. Let's try this. Boom. Okay, 4 hour. All right, so let's see what happens here. And this is what Aussie yen. There's Brexit. There's all kinds of problems going on here, right? I mean, going back. So look at bullish buy zone. That's one. Bullish buy zone. That's two. Bullish buy zone. That's three. Bullish buy zone. That's four. Bullish buy zone. That's five. Bullish buy zone. Hit this and collapse. That's six. Okay, probably not this one. That's probably not that. Bullish buy zone 7, bullish buy zone 8, bullish buy zone 9. So since September, you had 9 chances that this would have paid off handsomely. What is that, 9 out of 12 weeks? Yeah, so it's not every week. Terrible, huh? Very disappointing. Only 9 out of 12 weeks were profitable. Yeah, very disappointing. You're right. Okay. How about this daily plan? The 3A2 is actually predicting the 1618, isn't it? So we have this going to 85, 86. So we'll call it 86. Another great example of how you can trade, right? See how the 2155 crosses up on the daily? Look how long we've been riding the 2155. Right? Loufle. Remember this template? Template. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Adobe. Gray lines. Remember this one? No, it doesn't like the pivots. Right. I'm born. I was born. Pivots. Skip that one. Delete. Accumulation distribution line. Forget it. Look at these alligators. What the hell's an alligator? It's weird out when you do. I've noticed that MT4 does this from time to time. I deleted the pivot indicators and the pivots are still drawn. So I wonder if it's actually in the template. Weird. Well, anyways, I'm trying to now. Let's see if we can just ignore it. Okay. Riding the wave, right? Ooh, one too many clicks. Riding the wave, huh? Bottom, high, right? Off to the races. Yeah, I know this thing, but whatever. That's Trump. Well, Ryan, I need the price action to confirm first, right? So I'm not going to gamble it. But I will sit, let's say New Year's Day, markets are closed. I'm going to be sitting down with a bottle of 100-year-old port wine, and I'm going to be sipping out of my little glass, and I'm going to be thinking about all the good things that happened over 2016 and all the things that I want to remember, take with me, like learning experiences. Sometimes these are not good ones, right? And then I'm project on what I'm going to do in 2017. And one of the things I'll be doing as I organize my routine for the year is preparation for, a yen avalanche. And, and all that kind of stuff. And I will envision it. I'll actually envision it in my mind. I'll actually see the charts and everything. And then when the markets do open, it won't. It probably won't happen the first day or the second day or the first week, or maybe it'll happen the first week. Maybe it'll happen the second week. Maybe it won't happen the second week. Maybe it'll happen the third week. Maybe it won't happen the third week. Maybe it won't happen at all. but I will be hunting. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to find rabbits or deer or moose or bear. I don't know. But I'll be hunting. I'll be looking for the clues. I'll have the right tools job. And if I'll know it when I see it. And then I'll use the appropriate strategy, right? You're not going to snare yourself a bear. You might snare a rabbit, but you're not going to snare a bear, right? So I'm going to have to use harsher tactics, right? So anyways, that's it. I'm going to be very open-minded. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be watching. And if I see it, I'll know it. And if the yens keep going up, I don't want to just sell because of some, theory I have in my brain. Okay. And I've seen the collapse happen the first week. I've seen the collapse happen the second week. I've seen the collapse happen the third week. That kind of stuff. I remember specific mornings waking up and not having my trades open anymore because I got knocked out. And it happened like this, like the one I'm thinking about right now. The yens dropped like 300 pips in a day. We're close to a day and a half, right? It was a very significant drop. So I jammed my stop on all my open positions, and it was dozens, right? I'm like, wow, if this keeps going, I don't want to keep losing, right? So I move all my stops on all these trades that I've been in for 6 months kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, I got tons and tons of support. If it drops below this level, I definitely want to be out. But I really want it to keep going, right? And it was smart, and they started going back up. And so I used that as support, and I moved all my stops and everything. Great. And went to bed that evening. And then I woke up the next morning, and I opened my charts. And my heart just sunk. I still remember. It was just like, I've been knocked out, right? But those yens kept falling, well over 1,000 pips. If I had not done anything, I would have lost the vast majority of everything I worked hard for the previous 6 months. I would have lost 6 months of activity because I was just hoping for something, hoping they would go up. No, I was ready. Okay. So anyway, that was the second week. I think it was in fact, I remember it being a Tuesday after non-farm payrolls, the first one in January. And this was maybe 3 years ago or something, right? And that's it. And so and by the way, a 300 pip drop on dozens of trades is a lot of pips. But you don't know if that's the one, right? And and maybe I played it too conservative. Maybe I should have been ready. But for all you know, I would have made more than 300 pips being long in the first week. So, I don't know. I did the best I could at that time, right? So it's just being prepared. But like in war, the worst part of it is waiting, right? That's what I hear. I've been lucky enough not to have to serve in active combat. So from the war movies I've watched, the characters in the movie have told me the worst thing of war is waiting. Stops are the insurance premium we pay for volatility coverage. Well, you don't want to get stopped out because of volatility. You want to get stopped out because the trend is over. There's a difference. Okay. So that's that. The big thing today is ISM services. Okay. But it's less important these days because we already got our NFP. Really comes down to, we need to be thinking Fed. What's Fed going to do 2017? That kind of thing. Well, so Ryan says it's kind of after the fact. It can be, but not if you're sitting there waiting for the sign. Okay. Oh, and then very react. Well, so you say very little reaction, right? And that's what I was listening to Bloomberg this morning as I was showering, and they're like, yeah, very muted response to the Italian vote. I'm like, okay, well, I watched the pound yen drop 200 pips and then rise 300 pips. Did you see that? I watched it happen. It opened down 200 pips, then turned and went up 300. Then it came down about 100 pips and then moved sideways for several hours until London opened, and then it moved up even farther. So, yeah, okay, so you, in a matter of 3 hours, you could have made enough pips for the week trading one pair. So, I mean, maybe that's a little reaction. But where I come from, 200 pips down, 300 pips up, 100 pips down, all in a matter of 3 hours, that's not muted. So, anyways, I love you, babe, but I got to jump. Thank you for being on my team, guys. Right? If I slapped you in the face today, I didn't do it in a way to insult you. I did it as a wake-up call. And maybe, just maybe, a year from now, in a very similar situation, you will be thinking of me. You will be thinking of my voice and the lesson that I shared while you're over a weekend. This is why I give you visual images of me sitting by the ocean with my wife snuggled in my arm, or getting 4 wheels into the air in my MDX. Right? This is, if you can envision the shower door open and water dripping off the ceiling, because I'm so focused on my charts over the weekend and so prepared for Sunday/Monday open. If you can remember these images, for a couple of days, you might remember them a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 20 years from now when you're mentoring a junior trader in your firm. You can tell them a similar story of being focused and prepared. Right? So I want you to actually hear my voice. So next weekend you'll be waiting at your charts, Sunday night, Monday morning, whatever the case may be, your part of the world. But you'll be sitting there just literally watching the clock, 3 minutes to the open, 2 minutes to the open, and you can hear my voice preparing you. And if we can do that, then it was time well spent, I believe. Purple Wayne, Purple Wayne. Yeah, Ron. Do I want to be your weekend trader? All right. So, anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. I'll see you tomorrow. Right, teammate? You'll be here tomorrow? Well, as will I. See you then. Cheers.